Ladies, we're all here to support each other, right? Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bianca Valerio, and I am absolutely thrilled to be your host. And happy International Women's Month. Give yourselves a round of applause, right? There's some days like you're too tired to get out of bed, or you're depressed, or whatnot. What is your go-to outfit that makes you feel really confident? Risa, go ahead.
It can be an ukay-ukay outfit. Ultimately, you're not gonna look your best. I think you have to be comfortable. Hindi yung every 5 minutes you're adjusting your blouse, or you're pulling up your pants, or you're so worried something might peek out. So it can be a branded item, or it can be ukay-ukay, but you have to feel comfortable.
Comfort. I could see, Liz, you were like dying to say something. Yes, darling.
Hindi naman kasi hindi comfort. Just kidding.
Tiis ganda.
No. Actually, my go-to naman. Well, it's my case is different because every day it's a different day. So today I might go to a meeting, and then tomorrow I'll go to the commissary, and the next day I'll go to the fashion week. So it really depends on well, my mood. Also,
no pun intended.
and also where it's appropriate, like dressing appropriately. So,
but I think another no-fail way when I want to feel confident is to wear red. Wow. Kaya naka-red
Tapos ito na talagang nasa gitna, di ba?
So either red damit or red lipstick, like what Risa
There you go, exactly.
Nakaka-power.
Very Chinese pala. Red is power, guys.
Ganyan talaga. Pag ang peg mo si J-Lo. Okay, so I think I'll be honest with you. I was thinking about it. My go-to outfits, I can't live without the white polo. So I always have white polos, different types. Whether it's silky, cotton, something formal, basta it's a white polo. And I also love denim. So it's important to have a good pair of denim jeans, also a denim top. And generally, I just go for classic pieces. I've been at a phase when I was younger, wherein I tried all the trends. And let's face it, if hindi naman tayo si Liz Uy, di ba? That has samples or clothes that are from Gucci, etc. The challenge with most of us is really how to look good with our budget. So I feel it's important to stick with colors that are classic, colors that fit you, and styles that are timeless, if you ask me. So when the style is timeless, then even if parang iba't iba ang uso, at some point you'll hindi ka maluluma, parang ganon, diba? It's either like Audrey Hepburn or Grace Kelly. So you kind of last throughout. So I think that's what's important. Is I actually learned that from Liz's book.
Wow, thank you.
You have that book, did you know that?
Essentials.
Rita was just talking about
Yes.
So you were enumerating.
Yes. So I had Liz's book, The Essentials, and I made sure that I had all the good pairs that were in Liz's book, which is a good pair of black slacks,
White button down.
Oh, see?
Pencil skirt to that. Pencil skirt. Because you can restyle it again and again. So you can style with jeans, with skirts, with blazer, anything, and you'll look different. You'll look brand new every single day. You want to wear glitter eyeshadow? You want to wear blue eyeshadow? You want to try an abstract eyeliner look? Go for it. Because if you don't want to walk out of your house, you can wash it off. Just make sure you don't try it when you only have 5 minutes before your meeting.
Huwag ka lalabas na walang kilay. Number 1, di ba? Pwede kang walang lipstick pero ang hirap ng walang kilay. And I think important is, if you ask me, you have at least mascara or I don't know your extension lashes. Basta, it's really in the eyes. So that's one. And then you ask what's important, no?
I think it's more of trying to encourage them that
Pero trends,
trends.
mahirap sa kanya because you
Yeah.
are news.
Because
Hindi
I
naman
do the
pwedeng
news.
naka-pink eyeshadow
Oo.
bigla si Karen.
So let's say you want to
Also-
try like a new trend. How do you incorporate it for someone like with the kind of job that you have?
Kasi ang hirap naman nag-newscast ka, 5 namatay sa sunog, tas naka-glitters. Diba? Oo, 5 patay sa sunog, tapos naka-glitters ako. Hindi. So, I think, I think like me, for example, I like yung it's shimmery, like how the ladies look. So parang if you have shimmer, it looks like your skin is glowing. So I think that's kind of nice. But the one thing I like that kids, the young ones do today compared to when I started newscasting in the 90s, the anchors used to wear makeup na ganito kakapal.
And blue and orange.
Oo. Yes, without naming brands, ganyan kakapal. And hindi na uso yun ngayon. So that's a good trend.
Kami, sobrang lahat ng trends, tinatry namin. So yun yung actually kind of namimiss ko rin because now, we don't do a lot of editorials na, di ba? Like before na talagang, like laro talaga the whole magazine. So for me, it's nice then also to relive the past. Like say now, the Usos 80s, right? So parang sarap to do that and relive that era. Alam mo yun?
It's like, you know,
Imagine.
and exactly what like Risa said, it's non-committal. Like if you don't like it, it's okay. At least you got to try it once. And you don't have to wonder, bagay kaya yun sa akin? I-try ko nga. Exactly.
So on Head Start that airs on ANC, so I interview a lot of politicians and some can get very nasty and very negative, and sometimes the interview can go not the way you were expecting it to go, and then you know you get bashed after extremely on Facebook, etc. So I always, right away, my mantra for the day is to always have God's armor before I start the show. So
like
that's
that.
my mantra. That's my personal mantra. But I actually start the night before that I always prepare. So I don't believe in winging it. You know how it is that maybe some people, they go to the office, there's some expectations and they wing it. So I don't have that. Wala akong ganun sa trabaho ko. Parang it's very unforgiving. So I always come in prepared with notes. And despite that, sometimes, you know, you may not get the results you want. But that's really the mantra I come in with.
I've tried wanting to meditate in the morning. I've tried journaling. But you know, yung tatry mo mga a few days tas hindi na. Parang hindi talaga siya maging part ng system mo. So for me, siguro how lang I start my day. When I was younger, sasagarin ko yung wake-up call ko. Mag-snooze ka na mag-snooze until you really have to wake up. And when you wake up, you take a bath, rush out of the house. It used to be like that. But of course, everything changes when you become a mom. You kind of need to center yourself. So for me, it's just, if I have to be up by a certain time, I make sure to wake up an hour before that so I have coffee, quiet time. For me, that's just it. I want to be able to enjoy a cup of coffee to wake up para magising yung diwa.
I tear a new sheet because I have a new set of lists to do. So going back to what I was saying, you have to make that commitment. Put it in your calendar, mark it in your schedule. If 8 o'clock and you need 2 hours, you devote that to yourself. And I guess as a mom, di ba there's that quote or saying that you know you're a mom when a shower feels like a spa. Kasi that's your me time. Walang kumakatok na bata, walang mommy, or they're in school and there's no homework you have to take off because they're out. You know, it's really time for yourself. So that's how I feel, and I think it really, before you prioritize other people, prioritize yourself. Mark it in your schedule and make yourself number one. May oras talagang nakatabi para sa'yo. Kasi that's also like a team that needs to take care of us and my kids and my partner.
Because Bianca, they're both entrepreneurs. So you have Risa and Liz that run their own business. Bianca and I are similar, that we are our own. In other words, we're the products already.
Yeah, we're the three of us. We're like the same. Yeah, we're the same.
Delegate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're actually running like a small group of people.
So
Yes.
parang that's it. Chill lang ako kasi I feel like I cannot panic because if I do, then work will not get me done.
I like what Liz said about delegating because most women feel, since it's International
To do it
Women's
all.
Month, parang you have to do everything hanggang wala nang mapiga for you. But you know, it's okay to delegate. It doesn't make you less of a boss,
Efficient person.
less powerful. It makes you a better person because you're in control, di ba?
In fact, you're more efficient by having a
There's
great
no
team
shame
with
in
you.
delegating.
People who have the best lives or who age the happiest. And it turns out in the study, you'd think that it's first having, let's say, a happy marriage, etc. But it turns out what's number one in the study is having deep and meaningful friendships. Isn't that amazing? So I agree with Liz. So I made it quite simple. So you have, Lance Gokongwei once said, I asked him when I was moderating, how does he do it? He's a CEO with a family and he has to meet so many business people. And he said, well, at some point, something's gotta give. So mostly it's socials, unless socials is your job. You get the point? So I think that you have to write, as Liz says, what's the top? Because you can't sacrifice important things like, frankly speaking, sleep, time with family, because it overall affects your health, right? So that's number one. But I want to talk about the deep and meaningful friendships, because when you come out on television or you have some degree of fame, many people end up having new friends, you know? And I think it's good, but it's not completely good for the soul if you don't have your old friends. I'm a strong believer in keeping old and simple friends because you need people to keep you grounded. Kailangan may nagsasabi sa'yo ng totoo. Kailangan may nagmamahal sa'yo, imperfections and all, kung sino ka talaga. So, I think there's not much stress on that. A lot of my best friends were my old producers and researchers when we started out in GMA7. Nung lahat kami wala pang pera. And now we've climbed together. And it's a different semantics when it's the people who knew you before who are still with you today. So I think it's important to have people who love you for who you are. You have to make sure that you find those people. You have to nurture them.
Hirap na naman sundan.
I know. I have this, I used to be a perfectionist, or maybe I still am, but it's my best.
You still are, darling.
It's my best and worst trait, but I've come to realize it can really burn you out. So I think it's important for you to be able to juggle things. You have to realize it yourself and make a list of what's your priority. Ano yung number 1, number 2, and number 3? Is number 1 your job and income? Is number 2 family? Is number 3 friends or health or working out? You have to know first so that you'll know how to manage. It's for something better. It's for yourself, your family, and your health.
Actually, today we've been stressing so much on self-care, on self-love. Actually, the greatest act of self-care is discipline, coming from you. So it's about setting boundaries without shame or any guilt, right?
Yeah, I wanted to add lang, coming from what Riza said, yung burnt out. Feeling burnt out is real, I want to ask you in the audience, how many of you at one point has felt burnt out with your job? Right? You know, that's the hardest.
Don't even talk in the house.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, you know, I've been a broadcast journalist for 25 years. 25 years. There was one point, I was doing 3 live shows a day. And you know, when you feel burnt out, parang kayo sa trabaho nyo, you lose life, right? You lose inspiration. You lose that sparkle for you to continue in your job. Then it just becomes this purposeless, paying, must-do. And you have to guard against that. I want to tell you, you need to guard against feeling burnt out. So you have to find moments and pockets that inspire you. And don't laugh. It could be a dog in the house.
Yes.
It could be moments with a baby. Don't underestimate this. Yeah. Oh, those are ano, diba? Yeah. All right. And ito, saving for small vacations. It doesn't have to be abroad. Sometimes, you know, you save, you go to Boracay, 2 nights, 3 days. Ngayon, as Secretary Berna Romulo's been saying, please travel. You know, you go to Iloilo, it's 1,000 pesos round trip.
Or saving for like a spa day, diba? It doesn't even have to be a trip, just a me time pampering.
Yeah. But burnout kasi is severe eh. Parang, ang burnout takes a major parang shift.
And mental health.
Yeah, so I really feel that's what many working women need to guard against. And it affects mental health. I'm meeting more and more women, sometimes even younger people, wherein, you know, they end up thinking on the negative, or they end up thinking there's not much hope. And that's why it's so important to find those moments that give you joy. Real joy, the sparks of joy that have nothing to do with material things.
Like keep putting me down, being such toxic energy.
Social media.
Social media, you need to take breaks from that. Exactly. So a lot of times we think that it's things that we can't control that make up our happiness. No, it's actually within our control. And once we realize that and start to pick apart, make lists, making small victories of the things that we've achieved, it's very simple, small steps, but all those small things make up the very big things, which is you.
But you don't ever let anyone put out that fire, or else you're burnt out at saka pigang-piga ka na, and that's very, very unfair to the people you love. Walang natitira for them when you get home, and that's very unfair. So that's why you have to guard your energy levels and avoid being burnt out, because the last thing you want to do is go home and have nothing left for your family. You're shortchanging them.
I mean,
ganito, don't even have the thinking, hindi ko to kaya. You get the point? Don't even say that. That's not part of the vocabulary. Ang vocabulary mo, kaya ko to. Okay? Yun ang number 1.
Let's try it again.
Kaya ko to. First. Okay. So, I have 2 kids. My eldest son was diagnosed in the autism spectrum at 2.5 years old. He's now 18 years old. Now, if any of you here has a child with autism, you know that there is no pain like it. I'm sorry, Donnie's right there and he's like smiling. But you know that women are equipped differently than men. We can handle more things than men. We process things differently than men. So that's number 1. I've also been married for quite a long time, maybe added now to 25 years. Boyfriend for 7 years, and then married 19, so add that up. And you know, you can't also lie to yourself that marriage is a bed of roses. So you don't say that to yourself too. But the thing is, you don't even make failure an option. You understand? So the thing is, first, you have to decide, what kind of woman am I? Everything will follow. I am telling you, when you make a decision, I am a woman that is powerful on my own. I am gifted. I'm a child of God. Depends what you tell yourself. How do you mirror yourself? Believe me when I tell you, you are equipped. You are equipped. It is already within you. So you have to start with that. So first is, wait, failure is not the long-term option here, ha? Walang ganon. Not with your kids, not with your work, not with your marriage, not with anything. So take that out. Believe me, the energy follows. The universe listens to you.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
To think only if I were as beautiful as them. But if you start early that, you know, you're so beautiful, you're perfect the way you are, you know, a lot of issues actually can be solved when you're much younger. Ang feeling ko nag-therapy lang ako in my 40s na because you become comfortable in your own skin or late 30s, right? But if that's what I would tell myself. You're beautiful, you're perfect the way you are. That's what I would say.
Ako, 13, right? What would you tell your 13-year-old self? This I heard from Michelle Obama. Okay, kunukok din ako. Sabi niya, the most important thing for a woman to do is to take the time to get to know yourself. It's something I always repeat to myself. Kasi when you're 13, going through high school and college, yung personality mo bumabagi sa barkada mo, sa boyfriend mo. You kind of adapt, you're trying to find out ano ba yung likes ko. And I've been there. Naging sporty ako, nag-sporty yung boyfriend ko. Nagigimikero ako, nagigimikero yung boyfriend ko. Yung parang only when I became 30 and more confident that I really took the time to get to know myself. All along, akala ko extrovert ako. Nung 30 years old ako, nirealize ko, oh my gosh, introvert pala ako. Because of the nature of my job, I thought, oh, people person ako. Yung pala, hindi pala. Introvert pala. So, I love that advice of Michelle Obama because I feel like everything that you will do in life stems from if you know yourself. And that's harder now because of social media, and I learned this from you.
So many influences.
How do you know that your opinion is really yours and not because it's everyone else's?
It's called integrity of thought.
Yeah, natutunan ko yun kay Karen. So, to take the time to get to know yourself is definitely what I tell my younger self.
Yes. For two things. One, grades aren't everything. Grades aren't everything. I'm sure all of us here, we went through our school life thinking, I have to excel, and if not, I have no future. But now I have a different mindset. I'm so different with my daughters. You know, you don't put that pressure because I think that's why so many people feel worthless because they hinge their self-worth and who they are and their confidence on grades. But now we all know better that I've seen everyone, let's say in my batch, na parang the ones who were the ones that excelled or are valedictorians, their life is so different now. And the ones who are more well-balanced, had great EQ, had a good social skills, they're the ones succeeding now. So grades aren't everything. And second, what I would tell myself is, kung sino first boyfriend mo, hindi yan ang forever mo.
Yes, oh my God.
Because you know what, I think a lot of us grew up with that fantasy that you're a princess and you meet Prince Charming and that's it. You have to make it work. But I think it's so important that you meet so many guys. So I have a 5-year-old daughter and she told me one day, Mommy, I have a boyfriend. And my husband was like, who? And I said, no, Audra, it's okay that you have a boyfriend. You know, have as many friends, the guy, as you can. Because the more friends you have, the better. Because that's where, like what Bianca said, that's where you'll really know who you are. And the more guy friends you have, the more you'll know what you'll want in a life partner. Right?
Amen.
So don't feel stuck with just one guy forever. Have all the guy friends you want.
Complete your Girl Power map, and you just might be one of the first 200 to win the Beauty Addict / Everyday Planner. And you can be like Liz Oy, where she goes old school, puts in all her tasks, and does the whole girl boss thing successfully.